second.
I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcements to the rogue traders' army on one of the...
Okay.
Frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was...
I'm just trying to figure out if
not easy.
my sound is a little
Working with
too...
people outside the Navy hierarchy
low.
has never been my strong suit.
1 second.
It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue trader's personal capsule.
That is actually quite odd. Fair enough. Do continue to tell me, Abelard.
It was a difficult choice for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis.
Ironic statement considering how much of a fucking heretic
Lord Captain
Theodora is.
Theodora was.
Uh-huh.
I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the expanse.
Of course, Abelard. Your blind faith in your master is a little sad. Anyway. Okay, I think I like the way that the sound is more now. In-game. Sorry. Well, on stream, actually, to be precise. Just gonna lower it for myself. Shouldn't affect you guys. There we go. So, leaving the Imperial Navy is far from easy. Why were you permitted to quit?
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. Well, the Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world. And which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue.
Awesome. Good. I swear, contacting and recruiting Abelard was probably the only good thing Theodora ever did.
The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing, or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
So he got in trouble, okay? He got in trouble because he spoke his mind and he sounded a little too honest. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna disrespect my boy Abelard. I'm not gonna disrespect Dad, okay? That's rude. Do you have a family?
I am a widower.
Aww.
I am a father of 4. and if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11. My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship, and I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps.
Thank you.
Of course.
You know you can call me by my first name, Abelard.
I thank you for the honor, but I must decline. As a former military officer, I believe in the importance of order in all things, including the chain of command. You are the Lord Captain, my direct superior. I am not prepared to address you in any way other than as regulation dictates.
He's adorable.
Lord Captain.
Lord Captain? Lord Captain? I love him. Oh, man. Damn, my character's pale. Christ! She's so fucking pale, she's shining. Being Voidborn is, something else. Okay, no one here. Bitch officer. Aw, he saluted me. We're ready for any orders, Lord Captain. Putting everything's under control in my assigned area, Lord Captain. What about you? We're ready for orders. Okay. Now you. Lord Captain. Master Helmsman Raver at your service. The tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons and muscle. Blue veins snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Ah, yes, Mr. Grumpy Man. Master Helmsman, I stand at the wheel of this, tub. I mean your vessel. And bark commands at the idiots who tend to its related systems. In layman's terms, I am the one who stops us from running into an asteroid or a disruptive gravitational wave when we're traveling through the void. So do you control the tub in real space? I wish that was my only job. I have to steer her through the warp too, but most of the credit for that goes to the navigator. The warp's a nightmare, always tossing up something new. All my years at the helm, they count for nothing in there. My part's small enough. I just monitor our systems, follow the charted route, and I don't kick up a fuss when new orders come in from the navigator's sanctum. Real space, now that's where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitational anomalies, void currents, hard radiation, that kind of shit shows up everywhere. I love his language. Think the Emperor, the augurs on this vessel are holding up, and so far we've been able to spot if something bad's coming our way. Who are these idiots you're in charge of? There are too many to list them all. Tech priests from the engineer room, voidsmen from the augur decks, the work-shy fools on the bridge. I'd have every last one of them flogged. They all need a wake-up call. They need to be whipped into shape or else the ship will be going nowhere. Or even worse, it'll go somewhere we don't want it to. That's enough. Right you are. You're a Voidborn, are you not? That I am. Born in a helmsman clan in the bowels of a Chartist vessel. Studied the family trade until I was 15, then my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by lower hold scum. They spared the young ones, of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. But I was having none of it. They weren't going to make a servitor out of me, so I escaped into the crawlways, and then I spent months picking them off one after the other. You got me talking up a storm. Anyway, yes, I'm a Voidborn. Finish your story, Ravor. Ravor stays silent for a few seconds. Not much to tell. I gutted everyone I could get to, and then I fled upward to the middle decks. That's where the augur operators took me under their wing. They have apprentice helmsmen of their own up there. You see, nobody asked me any questions, so I stayed. I grew up, trained, got smarter, then ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Danrock spotted me and lured me away, the cheeky blighter. I can see you're not a gregarious sort. Have I done something to displease the Lord Captain? On the contrary, you are the first person on the bridge who's not tripping over themselves to lick my boots. The helmsman perpetually twisted mouth twitches as if he's trying to smile. It looks sinister rather than friendly. Oh yeah? Well, I'm pleasantly surprised myself that you aren't having me flogged for insubordination. Will wonders never cease. I love Ravor. Connecting wires, once they go into the control panel, I become one with the ship. Except the bloody cogs messed up the wires, stimulus injectors, and connectors when they implanted them. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and a splitting headache. So you'll forgive me if I'm not all smiles, Lord Captain. Tell me about the Voidborn, I guess. Lord Captain, I mean no disrespect, but you better to find someone with a knack for conversation like Tolman. I ain't the talking type. I just get the ship where it needs to go. What can you tell me about the other officers? Good for nothing wasters, that's what they are. Each and every one. Take Janres Danrock, that highborn weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes would get him burned alive. He drags other people into his schemes so they can take the fall for him, too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from Footfall for him, got caught by the Seneschal and ended up in the Void Hatch. Danrock couldn't care less. Cunt. The Voxmaster, another Tolman like the last one, Void Restum, is no better. She cut off half the Vox channels the day she took up her post. Said the Vox systems were damaged and the engineer room had no contact with other modules, but how am I supposed to steer the ship? Collect the cogs' reports with the power of my mind? Well, that is what she does. First officer was Sarian. I can't stand him. Like every Navy officer I've ever met, he doesn't know a thing about controlling a vessel in the void, but he puffs himself up all the same and throws his weight around. Me and him had to have word a few times before he left me alone. Think the Emperor, Lady Theodora, trusted me more than the Seneschal when it came to helming a ship. Then there's the woman. What's her name? Talas? Lady Theodora brought her along wherever she went, and look what happened to her. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out it was the witch who delivered her to an early grave. Oh, you couldn't be more wrong. Just like countless souls before. I don't see why anyone would want that walking calamity on their ship, but some would disagree. They say she's friends with young Tolman, you know? Or at least she used to be. Tell me, do you like anyone at all? What kind of a question is that? I like you, and Lady Theodora before you. Where would I be if I was making cracks about the rogue trader? Heh, I don't want to die just yet. I'll take my leave. Lord Captain. Fucking smart. Very smart. Argenta, honey. I missed you.
Rogue trader.
Rogue trader. Tell me about the Adeptus Auratus. Oh, she looks tired. There are dark circles under her eyes. Aww. She moves like she's a little on edge. Argenta, why are you a little on edge? Why are you a little on edge, Argenta? Hmm?
Gladly. There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. We... I beg your pardon, Rogue Trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
They say the Adeptus Auratus are the fiercest in their faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is it true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
Praise the Emperor and his faithful. Are all sisters truly as faultless as you are? 1 second, I just need to check on where my cat is. Real quick. There it is. It's just that I opened the window a little more than usual. And she shouldn't be able to get through it, but I was a little worried because I couldn't see the cat. But it's fine. She's sleeping in the staircase outside the room. Are all sisters truly as faultless as you say?
Even the novices of the Adeptus Auratus are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me. Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her, for nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of fault and weakness.
Sister Repentium are sisters of battle who've done something to shame themselves, and the idea of redemption for them is to go into battle at the front line, borderline naked, with a really shitty sword in hand, let's put it that way, and then just throw themselves at the enemies and trust that, you know, the Emperor's light will protect them. Obviously this ends with death, but they see that death as honorable and redeeming. So, yeah. They are scary though, I'll give her that.
Wearing nothing but robes,
no armor,
and
even the robes
eviscerator in hand. Those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
There you go. What order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
The Order Pronatus is not one of the Order Militant, and you are a trained fighter.
Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's Militant trains sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless. Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller and the enlightened Sisters Dialogus know how to greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge.
I love Argenta.
And my order has all the more reason to be known for the martial prowess of its sisters. We are the keepers of the Imperium's relics. What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it?
Makes sense. You said you belonged to the Calixian branch of your order. What brought you to the Cronus Expanse?
The order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Parson Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
Are there any other orders of the Adeptus Sororitas in the Chronos Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
Aww. I have no more questions.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Tell me about yourself.
About me? I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
Okay. How did you end up in Theodora's ship?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the cultist attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, where crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I had barely recovered from my wounds when the cultists struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
Okay. What happened to the people who wounded you? Did Theodora's men eliminate them?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more. And it's bound to happen someday.
Don't you worry, we will. Is it difficult for you to accept that you've made a mistake?
It happens even to the best of us. My mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
Where did this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
Expect the unexpected. We could go to that planet and deal with the Chaos Worshippers.
The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valanci's protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
Also known as Chapter 4, I believe. What was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium.
Aww.
I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistics systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship. But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful.
Fuck's sakes.
I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the cultists. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright.
Mm-hmm. Very cute of you.
As you wish.
What is it that's keeping you in my retinue?
The ship was targeted by heretics, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary. But for now, I wish to remain a part of the Rogue Trader's crew.
It pleases me to have a servant of the Golden Throne in my crew. May the enemies of the Imperium tremble before our onslaught. I enjoy your company, Argenta. I hope that you remain in the crew and that this ship becomes your home. You might be of use to me. I know she's not romanceable, so there's no point in hitting on her. Oh my god, if she was romanceable, I would have picked Argenta 1,000 times. I love the Sisters of Battle. They are the reason why I got into Warhammer 40k. It's literally because of the Sisters of Battle. But unfortunately, Owlcat decided to tease pretty much everyone, and then just disappoint us all by having a very cute, very fucking adorable Sister of Battle in the game, and then making her unromanceable. Thank you, Owlcat. Very nice, Owlcat. I'm not mad at or anything. I'm not even remotely mad. Nah, let's tease her a little bit.
Those are very courteous words, Rogue Trader. Thank you, both for your words and your hospitality.
Somewhat puzzled look. So you said you have a personal request for me?
I indeed have a request, Rogue Trader. The accursed servants of Chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valancia's territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans?
Aww, she's so adorable. I will meet with them, no formalities needed. These are the children of people who gave their lives for the Von Valancia's dynasty. My consideration is the least that they deserve.
I will pass on your instructions. Thank you for taking my request to heart.
Off we go. The motley group of adolescents do not take their eyes off you, gazing at you as if you were a creature straight from a fairy tale. Our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. Abelard glances at the gathered children. It is hardly the Scala Progenium in here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instruction. Argenta is standing to the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing. Brave ones, the master of this ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House von Valancius. You notice Infernus Master Heinrich Montag, this fucker, standing a few paces away from the orphans. He watches you with approval and bows respectfully when you meet his gaze. I love this guy. Infernus Master, do you serve as a teacher in your spare time? Not at all, your ladyship. I'm just looking out for them. It's the Infernus way to help folks in trouble. It's our job after all. So we chip in rations here and there and make sure nobody gives them a hard time. We take the older ones into the clan's care if they want. Many in the guild are not our family by blood but by circumstance. Your Lord Captain greets you, brave ones. The teenagers keep staring at you. A girl who has remained close to Argenta smiles uncertainly. A skinny, pale lad tries to throw his shoulder back and stand at attention like a soldier. Oh! Only a few teenagers at the far end of the row seem sullen and not particularly impressed. Damn. One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you noble lot, and you just give us speeches." Argenta quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flashes in her dark eyes, like she wants both to calm him and scold him for his impotence. If you have things to say them without fear. I'll listen. I'm not promising I won't, you know, throw out the airlock, but I'll listen. The boy smiles grimly. Doesn't matter what we say, it won't bring our parents back. I mean, you're not wrong. And it won't change our fates either. We'll keep slaving away on the ship until we drop and die like our folks. Or worse. Either one or two. Not sure. You heard the rogue trader. Her words carry the wisdom for the Imperium. Of the Imperium. It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly. Then he catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Abelard gives a sign, and servants immediately emerge carrying packaged treats with Von Valancius emblazoned on the wrappers. It appears that the Seneschal came prepared for any contingency. This part is just so surreal to me. They're throwing candy at kids. Look at these poor children whose parents just died. Now throw candy at them like they're fucking animals. Like you're giving bread to ducks. Which you shouldn't. but you get my point. Argenta rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. Okay, we did that. Anything else you want to talk about, Argenta? Regarding the kids?
Greetings. I made a mistake. As you gladly, there are...
Okay, that was it. Oh, Heinrich? I'm not sure. Heinrich, my boy. The Infernus Master nonchalantly lights an IHO stick? I think that's an I? No, it's an L. A low stick? From a thermal cutter and spreads his arms in a welcoming gesture. Heinrich Montag, at your service. He smells of cinders and low. Common form of recreational stimulant that consists of a rolled paper stuffed with a plant-derived substance. Fucking cigarettes. His face is sooty and his belt is laden with a number of heavy tools. You would have taken him for a laborer if it weren't for the greasy and ragged officer's uniform. Remind me of who you are. I'm just a humble laborer in charge of putting out fires and dealing with emergencies, but everyone calls me the Infernus Master. I guess this is because I answer for them with my life. With your life, you say? That's right. Picture flames roaring, all the ship's systems have failed, including the artificial gravity. You can't make out anything because of the red-hot debris, and you know an explosion's coming. It's a nightmare, but it's your job to evacuate the panicked crew, eliminate the cause of the fire, and get the compartment back in working order. Of course, the job description doesn't allow me to risk my life now. It is all about management these days, sending the boys and girls into the fire, but it's all nonsense, and if the going gets tough, I won't leave them there alone. The thing is, like, when I played the previous DLC, which is when he got added, I immediately fucking clocked this guy. I was just like, you're gonna betray me at some point, and I fucking know it. But he's such a fun character before that happens. He's so fun to deal with. What kind of emergencies does the Infernus Guild deal with? Well, there are many. Accidents due to external factors, for example, hits from enemy guns or collisions with hollow objects like the wreckage of other ships. There are plenty of internal causes as well, from system malfunctions and short circuits to problematic cargo. A couple years ago, something blew up in the hold, nearly burned it to a crisp, and then there's sabotage. That Voidveer snake did a lot of damage to the ship. A laborer? Then why are you lounging on the bridge? The simple answer is because nothing's on fire. As head of the Infernus Guild, I'm mired in the officer's routine of reports and discussions. There are several compartment upgrades and refurbishments on the agenda right now, and I have to make sure that fire safety protocols are followed everywhere. Rest assured, I'll scurry back to the technical base to do manual labor as soon as all the paperwork's done. I have other questions. Ready to answer them all. Aren't you being a little too relaxed in front of your Lord Captain? Perhaps because I live under the constant threat of an agonizing death by fire, I have a repressed, self-preservation instinct. Or maybe I just relish every minute I get to breathe low smoke instead of cinders. I humbly apologize for my manners, Lord Captain. Heinrich continues to smile without a shred of embarrassment. Take the low stick from Heinrich and draw a puff. You are an interesting person, Heinrich. Oh, that's such a bad idea, by the way. Considering what he is. Don't do that. If you knew what he was, you wouldn't be doing this. But it's okay. I only know because of metagaming. My character doesn't know. And he's way more fun if you flirt with him the entire time. Ah, yes. You are an interesting person, Heinrich. Chuckling, the Infernus Master takes out a new low stick and lights it. Not half as interesting as you are, Lord Captain. How did you come to the service of Von Valencius? Not in the usual way. My ancestors wronged yours and were appointed Inferni as a result. Hard labor, deadly risks, plenty of opportunities to atone. Those criminals had been dead for generations, but we are still serving their time. Maybe we will find redemption one day. Tell me more about the Infernus Guild. What interests you most? Our duty, our state-of-the-art equipment, or our vibrant traditions? How's the guild organized? The Infernus service is split into different brigades according to duties. The heart of the guild are, of course, our liquidators. Tough guys with nerves of steel who put out fires and pull people from the flames. Others are repairmen, dealing with problems like jammed doors, fuel leaks, or broken vents. And then there's the walking inspectors who check the decks to make sure that nothing is blocking any passages or access to communication lines. State-of-the-art equipment? That was a bit of a stretch, I'm sorry. There is no state-of-the-art equipment. The risks of ruining it in a fire are too great. We get by using human resources and the most common items available. Respirators, fire extinguishers, flame retardant uniforms. Let's face it, the lives of the Inferni are not worth much. It's more important that we save the machines and minimize damage to the ship. What traditions? We have plenty of those. Like the reminders. Heinrich rolls up his sleeve, revealing a tattoo inscribed over an old burn mark. When you survive a particularly hopeless accident, you get a tattoo on your scar. You can always tell an experienced Infernus by their ink. It's like a badge of honor of sorts. Okay. Tell me how you got your reminders. He points to a tattoo on his right forearm. This one is from the time plasma leaked from the outer aft circuit. Imagine yourself clinging to the hull outside, thermal cutter in one hand and a magnetic clamp in the other. Azure flames burst from the breach, the kind that can incinerate you in a second. All that separates you from death is a flimsy rope and a void suit more ancient than Holy Terra. And yet the price I paid was nothing compared to my comrades. He slowly moves the augmented fingers of his right hand. As for this one, the look he directs at his left hand is full of bitterness. I got this one in the ammo depot where my wife, Elsinora, died. There was a fire and the flames were getting close to the ammunition. And I don't mean autogun rounds. Those were macro cannon shells. We put out the fire as best we could, but we were losing. Suddenly, Elsie took my hand, kissed me, and then ran straight into the blaze and activated the emergency blast door. We stayed outside while she vented the compartment. It was quite a story. Heinrich gives a tender smile, gazing at the smoke. I'm sorry for your loss, Heinrich. This is enough for now, Heinrich. Never let your fire go out, Lord Captain. I mean, no, that's just a stupid little Gildan joke. Seriously, if you see an Infernus next to a naked flame, run. Holy shit. I love him. He's adorable. He's also a piece of shit, but we don't know that yet, so it's okay. Do you guys have anything new to say? No? Greetings. Okay. I think that's everything for now. Yep. Okay. Henrix isn't here yet. Shame. Shame, shame. Oh, yes, Jocasta. Let's fucking go. Hey, Jocasta. Jocasta Sarbak is the very picture of discipline. Her uniform is exquisitely pressed, her armor is polished, and her posture is imposing and rigid. The only flaw in her immaculate appearance is the heavy Enforcer's maul, which is worn and battered from frequent use. She salutes you with a practice motion. Greetings, Lord Captain. How did you come to serve on my flagship? I come from the noble Sarbak family on the capital world of Dargonas. I dare say that our house is renowned for its loyalty and strict adherence to the law, and the members of my family have been your faithful enforcers for centuries. I am honored to be the 6th Master-at-Arms named Sarbak to serve on this ship. Jocasta speaks the words with unmistakable pride. Why are you here instead of basking in luxury on Dargonas? Because of my cousin Macarius. I cannot stand him, but the feeling is mutual. We can hardly be in the same room together, so I jumped at the opportunity to become your enforcer. I should thank my obnoxious cousin for nudging me towards the best decision of my life. I serve you with all my heart and wish for no other fate than this one. You're wearing Imperial Navy armor. How did that happen? I inherited it from the previous Master at Arms. Like the esteemed Seneschal, he left the Navy to serve Lady Theodora. He brought quite a few officers with him and established a tradition. Upon the death or resignation of an enforcer, his or her armor will be passed on to a fellow officer who had distinguished themselves in the course of their duties. I was awarded armor in this way in my time, and upon death of my predecessor, I inherited his personal armor. What is your opinion of me as a Lord Captain? I do not doubt the astuteness of your decision, but beyond that, I am impressed with you. I have heard about the brutal punishments that you endured, Lord Captain. Hi, Maria. I'm surprised that characters are so okay with bringing up this shit, because this is like part of the Lord Captain's past from before she was a Lord Captain, and it's the source of some pretty bad PTSD. People just keep bringing it up to her like it's completely normal. So yeah, I went through some pretty PTSD-inducing torture. Thanks for noticing, Yokasta. It's very nice of you. She looks away, but before she does so, you notice a strange spark in her eyes. Jocasta? Your tenacity deserves admiration. There is fire in the black depths of her gaze. If she could, she would devour you whole with her sidelong glances. Damn! I seem to be detecting something more than mere admiration, Jocasta. Then what about awe? She stares at your neck, right at the scar peeking out from under your collar. Her pupils dilate and she licks her lips involuntarily. Thinking about what you have suffered leaves me trembling. Oh boy. Damn! In my chambers in 5 minutes, that is an order. Oh, that is so funny. I love this game so much, bro. That'll never not be. This game is just... Owlcat's games are just unhinged. It's also kind of weird, though, as a character, because my character is supposed to be severely traumatized by this, but I guess we're going the... channeling my severe PTSD into, sex kink route. Let's go. Yes, Lord Captain. Let's fucking go. That is a choice. I'll give you that. And she's sitting on the floor. Good job, Owlcat. Anyway, Sarback lovingly strokes the stiff cord that is usually braided around the hilt of her weapon. It still retains the heat of her passion-charged flesh. She raises her eyes, full of dark satisfaction to you. It is an exceptionally rare sight, the Master at Arms, utterly relaxed and content. Lord Captain, have I obeyed your orders well enough? The next time you wield your weapon, remember this night. Damn. I shall, often and with great pleasure. Bless her. In fact, I request that you show me no favor as a consequence of this encounter. This evening has itself been a privilege. I need no others. Perhaps we'll do it again sometime. If it pleases the Lord Captain, next time I will bring along a few things from the interrogation room. You will most certainly find a use for them. Holy shit. Oh, this game is very normal. Very sane. Very normal. Very, very okay. Nothing weird about it. Still, not even half as unhinged as Marajai's romance. We're starting off this game well. Aw, they saluted me. That's cute. This way. Now we've talked to her. Oh, we didn't finish talking to her. Lord Captain? I want to know what you think about the other officers. I do not trust him, but I do not trust anyone. Mr. Solomon has too much power, and I will surely be tempted to start deciding for... Oh, and will surely be tempted to start deciding for herself what information to share with the crew on your behalf and what to withhold. Ravar is closely intertwined with the ship's systems, which opens up plenty of opportunities for sabotage. He must be watched. As for Danrock, forgive me, but a man of his size and habit cannot help but steal. He's too fat, so he can't help but steal. Is that what you just said? What? Okay. What can you tell me about Abelard? The Seneschal is a model of competence and fidelity, and all the officers and enforcers look up to him with gratitude. A grimace of fierce devotion takes hold of Sourback's face, before she abruptly grits her teeth and continues. It is all the more distressing to see that the years have not been kind to the deeply respected Master Rosarian. Soon there will be no rejuvenate treatments that can save him from the mistakes inherent in such advanced age. But we are ever watchful, and will be there to steady the trembling hand of the honored veteran, if need be. That was almost nice. I want to know more about your service. I'm ready to answer. What are the Master-at-Arms duties? I'm responsible for upholding safety and order aboard the ship, guard duties, patrols, fining and punishing troublemakers. In addition, my enforcers ensure that the crew follow all directives and carry out their tasks properly. As they say in my family, a servant who shows disobedience today prepares a riot tomorrow. Holy shit. There are thousands of people aboard this vessel. How do you maintain order? 2 words, Lord Captain. Suppression and fear. The Warhammer 40k universe is, grim and dark, I guess. The base nature of the rabble cries for an iron grip, lest they give in to their animal urges. We have many well-tested measures to prevent it. Random night searches, preventative interrogations, corporal punishment, and executions. Preventative interrogations! Sir, why am I being interrogated and tortured? Oh, just in case. Have I done anything wrong? No. Just in case. I love Warhammer. Of course, the laws of the ship equally apply to the officers. We eradicate the canker of insubordination wherever we find it without mercy. There we go. I hope you will not repeat the mistakes of the previous Master-at-Arms. You can be sure of that. He was a fine enforcer, but suffered from the fatal flaw of trusting his associates. I myself lack that weakness and trust no one, except you, Lord Captain. Do you, though? That is all for now. Proud to serve. Okay, well that was a very normal conversation we just had. Greetings, your ladyship, Yanris Danrock at your service. The corpulent. Okay, well, you know what? From now on, I'm not calling anyone fat. Everyone's just corpulent. The corpulent man in lavish clothes bows before you, not without difficulty. A servo skull whirs over his shoulder while the fingers of his augmented hand drum against the sheaf of papers he's holding, and he regards you with attentive interest through the lens of his I was about to read magnificent. His magnifying implant. Greetings, your ladyship. So, remind me what the fuck you're doing on my ship. As the High Factotum, my duties encompass anything that might enrich you and your protectorate. I see to it that suppliers deliver all shipments on time, that our partners do not weasel out of their promises, and that all servants remember that the Emperor's grace can only be earned through toil for the good of the von Valencius dynasty. I also make arrangements to ensure that our hold receives less than thorough inspections by port custom officers, and I find buyers for whatever you wish to sell. I love him. And of course, I ensure that the Protectorate's worlds prepare their tithe in a timely fashion. That's the taxes. Let none ever say in my lifetime that the dynasty has disgraced itself with a late payment of the sacred taxes. How did you come to serve the von Valencius dynasty? I come from Dargonas, your ladyship. You look like it. I have been a subject of your dynasty since birth, and have always strived to be of use to the great rogue trader. Alas, it was not my fate to be the primary heir of my own family, due to me being 15th in line for the title, so I decided not to stand in the way of those behind me in case they attempted to shorten the waiting list at my expense. He chuckles. While my brothers and sisters scheme against each other, I studied the exact sciences and mastered bookkeeping, the greatest art of the Adeptus Administratum. You got it right there. I must admit that the accumulation of wealth, something one can control, is far more exciting than hunting, carousing, and the other traditional amusements of my noble peers. What was it like working with Theodora? Oh, now that is a tricky question, your ladyship. Do you ask it of everyone, knowing they risk losing their heads should they let it slip? A careless remark about your predecessor? I shall put it thus. Working with Lady Theodora was never boring and always profitable. The Imperium has billions of subjects, but very few do what they love and what they are best suited to. I would say Lady Theodora was one of the fortunate ones. She was a model rogue trader. I'm sure you including all the heresy she did when you say that. And she surrounded herself with those who excelled at and loved their work. Hers was a rare talent indeed. I wish to know more of what you think of my fellow crew members. Keep it tagged on your subordinates. A wise move. Tell me who interests you, and I'll endeavor to be as honest as possible. Yannaris's eyes light up. He's obviously eager to speak his mind. Tell me what you think of the Seneschal. Lady Theodora managed to do what even the Imperial Navy could not. Teach Master Viserion to carry out orders that he fundamentally disagrees with. I do not know what methods she used, but the result is impressive. Having said that, there is something else you need to know. Lord Captain, your Seneschal is capable of being something far greater than a mere conduit of your will. He possessed the cunning and experience to run the Protectorate passably whenever Lady Theodora was away, and that really is saying something. Keep an eye on that old officer, I say, or alternatively, turn him into a faithful ally. Of course, he's awesome. I'd like to hear your opinion on Kunrad, the snake. I hope I never see him set foot aboard this vessel again, not even as a servitor, although he would be able to do at least some good that way. Someone has to clean the latrines after all. He gave us all quite a fright on that ill-fated day, Lord Captain, and still, to speak candidly, I never enjoyed Master Voidvir's company, but I believed him to be a man who knew how to do his job. Regretfully, I was mistaken. Turned out Kunrad lacked the most important quality for a Master of Whispers, unwavering loyalty to the rogue trader, and his failing came to light in the most deplorable manner. So what do you have to say about Voxmaster? Ah yes, the Voidborn. You know, in my family we used such creatures as quarry whenever we went hunting. I'll keep that in mind the next time Marajai asks me to murder someone in my retinue. Yanris. But I digress. In the brief time Tolman has spent in post as Voxmaster, I have not noticed any significant flaws in her character or anything that would make me question her professional qualities. Needless to say, she is very diligent and as is any Voidborn seeking to earn their master's affection. I believe you can trust in her skills and loyalty. As you say, your ladyship. I want to know more about the people who buy our plunder. Of course. So, St. Drusus, what do they buy from us? Faith stuff. Food, shipment of clothes, box of medicine marked with your seal is assigned the rogue trader. Herself believes in the sect's future success. Explorators. Tech priests. Seeking bits of sacred knowledge, tracking down mechanical relics, sniff out Xeno artifacts. Supposedly they want to save the ignorant rabble from corruption. A tech priest named Opticon 22 does business with us on the fleet's behalf. He can be found at the docks. I'm interested in the Kaspolika mission. Masters of the cold trade, immoral criminals and notorious crooks to the last man. The mission is but one branch of this mafia gang that has taken root in the Calixtus sector. You can do business with them as long as you take the necessary precautions. They're led by Vladaim Tokara, who recently appointed himself Liege of Footfall. Of course, he is a trusted ally of Rogue Trader Winterscale, but he will not refuse you, another of the Emperor's anointed. If you wish to talk to Vladaim, look for him in the Liege's palace on Footfall. So what is the Fellowship of the Void? I think it's pirates, right? A pompous name is it not? In truth, they are a gang of pirates who are forever squabbling over loot and territory. However, some of their little flotillas need supplies, or can take awkward cargo off our hands without asking questions. Of course, there is always a risk that these scoundrels will change their mind and attempt to board us instead. But, so far, our macro cannons have managed to keep them in line. They say Riza Calvaria speaks on the fellowship's behalf. The Adeptus Amasecus on Footfall is rumored to be her favorite haunt. Why are we giving away our spoils to these people in the first place? To profit from them, of course. Most of the things you will find during expeditions are complete junk to one such as yourself, but the less fortunate and affluent servants of the Emperor think them treasures, especially when they're bestowed by the great rogue trader herself. Drusian fanatics and pirate cutthroats, cosmic dealers and explorators. None will refuse our help in these dark and trying times, and there may come a time when we shall be the ones requiring aid, and it will be beneficial to have allies willing to provide it. I suggest we change the subject. Certainly. I would like to replace the painting of the late Theodora in my chambers. Hang my portrait instead. It will be done, your ladyship. Thank you. I wish to bolster my retinue with skilled fighters. No, I don't. My retinue and I are in need of training. No, we're not. Enough questions for now. Okay, that was that. Idira! Honey! Hey! Hi, Idira. The tall, middle-aged woman stares straight ahead, her eyes vacant as she rubs the implants at her temple. Her collar is undone, and one of the clasps is on the verge of falling off. Sensing your presence, Idira turns her head toward you and offers you a crooked smile. Even her eyes look right through you. So about your abilities.
What are you talking about, Lord Captain?
You are a psyker. Psykers are only granted the right to live with the Emperor's blessing. Have you ever been to Terra?
Look, Lady Theodora couldn't care less if some eggheads measured my brains or not. It's not about the seal on your forehead, get it? It's about what's in your gut, if it's rotten or not. My gut's stronger than the adamantine on this here ship. And my implants are better than the ones they put in you on your Terra. If they weren't, I wouldn't have lived as long as I have.
Fair enough. Where'd you come from?
Lyra, an outlying world in the Heathen Stars region. In the Coronis Expanse, the deeper you go, the less visible the Astronomicon gets, and the less people know about the Imperium. The arrival of a rogue trader is the best thing that can happen to a world like that. The very best.
Tell me about it.
It's an out-of-the-way planetoid between two faint stars. On Lyra, a dozen local tyrants fight over 5 measly continents. But they use everything they can to win. From poison to psychers. I haven't been there in many years, but there's nothing for me to miss. Trust me. But here on the ship is a different story altogether. I saw more wonders in my first year serving Lady von Valancius than I'd seen in my whole life on Lyra. Like my first journey through the warp, I was in bed for 3 days. I felt like supernovas were exploding in my head. I only found out later that I'd gotten off easy. Just through the bulkhead in the bay next to mine, a whole team turned into... Look at me rambling on, Lord Captain. Pay no attention.
No, please do continue. What the fuck did they turn into?
It wasn't like it was a very fun trip, Lord Captain. But look, if you want to be entertained, I'm the woman for the job. I'll entertain you with one of the stories from my collection, no problem. But if you want to hear about the time I melted everyone in the bay next door, well, I just don't really want to go into the details on that one, all right?
Fair enough. What did you do before you came to the ship?
Oh, I embroidered wall hangings in honor of our national heroes. I did the same thing I do here, Lord Captain. Divining. Our rulers prized the ability to see into the future. Every psyker that could be found was worth a small fortune on Lyra. There's no such thing as a peaceful life on Lyra. People like me were especially sought after. They'd pick psychers up wherever they found them, buy kids off their parents, even just abduct them. Take me, for instance. I got taken from my street gang. The older kids sold me when they noticed there was something off about me. The ruling dynasties had schools where they trained us and beat us black and blue.
So not too different from Terra.
Some of us held on for a long time, but others didn't last. Not everyone's as smart and talented as me, you know. Some people crossed the line and were out of commission before their time.
Idira looks at you expectantly, then as though clarifying, she uses her hands to indicate a head exploding and laughs. Okay. How did you end up in the Rogue Trader service?
Theodora von Valancius paid a visit to the ruler I was serving at the time. I don't know what the visit was for, and it's no business of mine anyway. I can still remember the way the voices in my head changed when I looked at her. They were practically screaming. She had so much behind her, and plenty ahead of her too. And as I gawped at her, all of a sudden I heard a whisper. A hint, a suggestion, nothing more. But I know the difference between idle chatter and a real threat. I seized my chance and approached Theodora. I managed to whisper a couple of words in her ear before the wardens dragged me away. They beat me and locked me up. No wonder. It wasn't my place to converse with outsiders. And then, Theodora's people came for me. They broke down the wall, butchered their guards. Also, I could tell them my warning in full. So, I said the rest, but I didn't want to go back to my old life. And so I entered the service of the von Valancius dynasty.
Okay. Have you ever been off the ship?
A few times. Not many. And if I think about it, why would I want to? I've got everything I need here. All the whispers I hear are familiar ones. They almost feel like family. And if I want to hear about the nightmares off the ship, I can, after some Amisec. But don't go getting the wrong idea. If I have to, I'll follow you to the edge of the galaxy.
Well, that's very kind of you, Idira. Let's not get there.
Of course, Lord Captain.
What's it like being a psyker?
Lord Captain, forgive me. But it would be like talking to a person born blind about colors. I could spend hours explaining, but it wouldn't make any sense to you. Every psyker feels their connection with the warp in their own way. One person might see spots and shadows out of the corner of their eye. Another feels fingers running down their spine. As for me, I've got a door in my head. One that's open just a crack. There's no way to close it, no matter how hard I try. I've just had to get used to the whispers from the other side. When I need to use it for work, I listen in more closely. But I usually just try not to notice it.
How do you live with this whispering in your head?
Training, habit, and a little Amasec and a couple other things you can get on the lower decks. If you put all those together, it makes things bearable. Sometimes I even wonder if I'm imagining half the voices I hear. You know, when life on board gets a little boring. Better than listening to the living, anyhow.
What would happen if your door burst open?
Well, if the door opens, that means somebody's planning to come in, right? But screw them. They're not coming through. Trust me. I know how to keep my valuable head locked up tight.
Aren't you afraid of losing control?
Only losers who are afraid of their own gift lose control. Or idiots who never figure out what they are before it's too late. Or little kids who want to play around with their shiny new toy. If you don't know the limits of your abilities, or you're always bouncing around in your own head, that's a recipe for disaster.
Can you see my future?
All right. That's what I'm here for, after all. So, I'm just going to lean on that door in my head a little more, prick up my ears, and listen to what the warp's got to say about you. If you'll allow it, I can listen right now.
Sure.
All right. Let's hear what they're whispering about you.
Idira laughs, rubs her hands together, and suddenly freezes with a vacant smile on her face. Her head slightly tilted. You feel goosebumps appear on your skin, and your collar begins to wave waver ever so slightly as if moved by a breeze from a half-open door.
Seek not on firm ground, but in a golden hall suspended in the void. There waits a child without kin, but with a name blind to truth. She draws the brush across the canvas and does not notice that her palette is full not of paint, but of blood. And with each smear, this well does not deplete, but fills and fills up to the brim. One thing is clear. When this vessel overflows, none will remain unstained. Among the blind men and false prophets, a red-robed sage seeks the answer to a question. He does not know that it is not the answer he must seek, but the question that will draw everything into focus. Will you help him, rogue trader? But mark that sometimes ignorance is sweeter than oblivion. A chained hound chases after glimmers of the aurora, but sparks in the scent of oil confound his nose. A chain trails after him. What will happen if you pick it up? Will you become his mistress? Or merely another beast in the pack of his true lord?
So those 3 lines were about 3 different characters that we're going to be recruiting. The first one was Cassia, the navigator, we're about to pick up. The second one was about Pascal, the tech priest, we're going to pick up very soon too. And this one, the third one, is about Heinrichs, what are the 2? Whom is the interrogator that we're going to go pick up as well. But he's the last one.
The glow of dawn bursts forth from its prison. Dungeon walls cannot contain the dark essence wallowing in the dust. A naive cub pushes his nose into a familiar hand, one that holds death in twisted glass. Cherish it or cast it off as a burden. The sword of change has already been raised. What is one more life to it?
I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in, somehow. But for now...
Okay, that was it. Did you know Theodora well?
None of the officers knew the Lord Captain well. Not even Abelard, and she was always closer to him than anyone else. She told me from the off if I ever listened to anything in the warp about her without her permission, I'd be going out through the airlock. I'm not an idiot, so I never stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Only when I was asked. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that she's gone. Lady von Valancius gave me everything I have. She opened the stars to me and the paths between them. I still think I can hear her voice.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. Things are strained between you and Argenta. Isn't that right?
The little sister is afflicted with her own set of voices. Ones that whisper to her about corruption and heresy. The silly girl doesn't realize that if she wants to find the source, she needs to start by looking in her own head.
Got a new story?
You bet I do, Lord Okay, so, we went to Footfall once? Well, I mean, Lord Captain Theodora went to Footfall a lot. But on that occasion, she took me with her for some reason. My day had gotten off to a bad start. My head had been yammering since I woke up, but there was nothing else for it. I had to go. We arrive at the place, and what a place! All the gentlemen and ladies dressed to kill, showing off their encrusted implants, all clustered around little tables. Well, turned out it was a gaming den. And not just any gaming den, but one run by somebody with deep pockets for people with just as much cash to splash. You should have seen it. People gambling away planets in a game of regicide.
Okay.
Anyway, so the Lord Captain wanted me to help her beat some guy. So I tell her, the chips won't land in your favor. You'll get a bad hand. Don't sit down at that table, your ladyship. But did she listen? Of course she didn't. If there's one thing she never lacked, it's stubbornness. So they sat down and the cards were dealt. I'm hovering around like I'm not involved, but I'm keeping my eye on things. And everything in my head keeps getting louder and louder. Anyway, it's a good thing I realized in time that my mind wasn't going haywire over a losing hand, but something else. I made some excuse to drag the Lord Captain up from the table and took her away from that place. And a few minutes later, the room where we'd been... It turned out some wise guy had the same bright idea to bring a pet psyker along with him. One of those ones who just scuttle around in Footfall's underbelly. And the psyker just freaked out, I guess. After all the commotion, people went to see what happened in the room. And they'd all gone for each other's throats. Literally. With teeth. And I think they completely detached that asteroid from Footfall and pushed it off into open space so it would head off toward the local star.
Holy shit, Idira. You just tell stories like that like it's completely normal.
All right, let's... I'm sorry.
Okay. Done here. I think we're done. Chatting. Right? Yeah. Pretty much. With everyone that's named, at least. Greetings, Lord Captain. Lord Captain. Lord Captain. Okay, real quick. Let's go to our Lord Captain quarters. Has he swapped it yet? Hey, that's us. Nice. Okay. Okay. There it is. I don't think my name is here. I don't think I paid for this one. No. My name should be on the other Allcat games though. Although it might be my old name though. Okay. I should put that on later. The vault has nothing. Skull of some unknown Xenos is... Oh, that is ugly. Okay. I'm sure this is random shit I get because of some DLC or whatever. Oh. Link your account. What account? Oh. That. Not important. Thanks. Aw, little game of Regicide. Wait. The long dead eyes of this fierce monster forever capture the fear and pain of its final moments. Get fucked. Master of Ablution. Ablutions? Ablutions? Ablutions. Okay. Would you like to take a bath, your ladyship? Of course. That's nice. Oh no. You two, get in here. I require company and pleasant conversation. Do you mean us, your ladyship? Yeah? Do you think I'm talking to anyone else? We will commence relaxation immediately. There we go. We got some friends. In the bathtub. What would you like to talk about, your ladyship? We wait your orders. You seem tense. Your orders are to enjoy some food and amasek. The enforcers are barely able to conceal their excitement as they shove delicious delicacies into their mouths and wash them down with obscenely expensive drinks. They have never experienced anything like this before, and likely never will again. It is a feast they will not soon forget. A story they will tell their grandchildren someday. I wish to be fed. Feed me, okay? Like little grapes. Like the Romans. The woman reverently places slices of exotic fruits and rich-smelling cheeses into your mouth, and the man brings a cup of amasek to your lips and washes it all, to wash it all down. They do everything for you except chew and swallow, but you suspect that if you were to give the order, they would find a way to do that for you as well. Tell me about yourselves. Do you have any other responsibilities besides guarding these chambers? For hundreds of years, our clan has been responsible for ensuring the rogue traders' safety during times of leisure and relaxation. I guard the bath chamber, just as my grandmother did before me. She trained me herself and instructed me in my duties. I love Warhammer. This bath chamber can be more dangerous than a battlefield sometimes. You can slip on a wet tile. You can choke and drown. If the water is too hot, you can burn yourself, and if it's too cold, you can freeze. There have even been cases where angry machine spirits have released sparks of their fury in the water. And of course, there have been numerous assassination attempts. And the woman stops abruptly as the other officer loudly clears his throat. It is reassuring to know my enforcers are prepared for anything. We live to serve, your ladyship. We'll keep you safe. So what do enforcers do in their free time? When we're off duty, we train, maintain our equipment, and pray at regulation-approved intervals. If we do have some time for ourselves, we might play some Tantolo, and Bran over here carves things out of soap scraps. Though for the most part, we barely get enough time to rest, let alone for leisure. Pass Bran a piece of soap and a knife. I demand a demonstration, Bran. The enforcer looks slightly flustered, but he quickly gets to work. After a little while, he presents you with a bust of the Emperor about half the size of your palm. The Emperor's visage has been recreated with incredible precision and attention to detail. The small carving surpasses the work of many a skilled sculptor. Holy shit. I will have it placed in my study. I am not worthy of such an honor. Thank you, your ladyship. His eyes shine with pride. You may relax with me here until I'm finished bathing. We would consider it a great honor, your ladyship, but please do not tell the master-at-arms we joined in your ablutions. Mistress Sourback will beat us bloody if she finds out. I will totally not tell them. I wish to see someone from my retinue. Which of them? Oh my god. Abelard, I demand you bathe with me. Lord Captain, what a fortunate rarity to find you at leisure. Since you have nothing else to occupy your time, I will give you a lecture on the history of House von Valancius. I would not be doing my duty if I did not start from the beginning. Enlighten me, Abelard. As I was saying, we shall begin with the origins of your noble lineage. Abelard provides you with a daunting amount of information, but you still learn quite a lot about your dynastic history, whether you want to or not. That is enough for today, your ladyship. Permit me to leave you while you contemplate what you've learned. He's so proud of himself. He's so happy. Aw, I can't ask for someone else. Relax and close your eyes. The tension slowly retreats as you bring yourself to complete stillness. Joint by joint, muscle by muscle, pore by pore. Before long, you have surrendered the bastion of your body to the bliss of oblivion. Troubles, worries, loss. Sure, such things do not belong in this newly established dominion of tranquility. There are only the infinite waters of weightlessness in which, stripped of all things superficial, the mind of Domina von Valencius drifts in silent bliss. It is a conscious mind. What fills this consciousness? Thoughts of those who keep her afloat in these waters. Who will drown and who will she manage to pull to the surface? The strands of fate are fragile, yet woven together, they are strong. Not everyone is destined to see this voyage through to its end, but no one will be forgotten. Finish your ablutions. There we go. We bathed. We took a bath, and it was a whole experience. I love it. Oh, there's a little something. Fiery Reckoning is now fully equipped. The object has been landed aboard with its containment intact. Chances of the ship returning are minimal. Estimated time. Okay. Interesting. Oof. We can change appearance now! We couldn't do that before. That's nice. I don't think I have custom... Yeah, I don't have custom portraits. Do I? No. I do not. Unfortunate. But cool, we didn't have that before. Beyond the glass, the distant stars shimmer in the darkness of endless space, filling you with an odd sense of dread. Look at that. Oh, haha, you're not supposed to be able to see that. The shit that's back there. I'm not supposed to. I could always tell because of that there was something there. But, only if you play as a heretic do you get to see what's back there. And I've never played as a heretic, so... Just pretend like I didn't see that. Anything else? Wrong way. Cute little noises. There we go. Are the other compartments available at the time? Yes. The shrine. Let's go. Yeah, I'll bring everyone with me, of course. It'll be fun. Okay.
Let us not dawdle.
Hello, Mr. Initiate. Grant me understanding, Master. Grant me wisdom. Your leadership, how can I serve? Who are you? What do you do here? Clotus, Junior Cleric. I sort recordings from the Shrine Confessionals to pass on to higher ranking clergy. Tell me more about this confessional. Well, it's where people confess stuff. Is there a way to find out who made each confession? There is not. That would undermine the usefulness of it. The first prototype wasn't anonymous, so those confessions might as well have been carbon copies of each other. Everyone was impeccably diligent and pious and whatnot, but as soon as the machine spirits started keeping the names secret, the parishioners opened up. Good thinking, making it anonymous. Keep up the fine work. It appears you're having difficulties. Nothing escapes your ladyship's notice. As it so happens, I am struggling to categorize 3 rather peculiar confessions. I wouldn't have dared tell you about them, but I think they may have been left by senior officers, which would make this a matter of the highest order, one that is far beyond my meager understanding. These confessions, you see, are far from being examples of pious conformity. I dread the very thought of dissent or heresy poisoning the minds of some of the most eminent members of the crew, but I cannot change what I heard. I cannot share this with anyone but the Emperor's anointed, nor can I allow anyone but your ladyship to listen to these messages protected by the secrecy of confession. What makes you think these confessions were made by senior officers? They're well spoken, meaning they are used to addressing an audience. Perhaps they issue orders and are vested with power. And well, after categorizing so many confessions, I have learned to notice the subtle differences between them. Let me hear them. Alleged dissent, impious doubt. Impious doubt. One question has troubled me for years. Why are some destined to perish in the warp, while others go on living and preserve the memory of the dead? Worthier and more luminous souls have been lost, and yet I am still here. Male speaker. Oh. Someone with the IQ of an amoeba is currently throwing, whatchamacallit? Fireworks outside my window. Very, very close to my window. Idiots. Yeah, that will not replace the families they lost, but it will improve their lives somewhat. Especially given that the ship has enough resources to cover that comparably trivial expense. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Guess we'll have to find out who made those confessions.
Always keep your eye on the prize. What a peculiar thing. That's how it's done.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Initiate. Who are you? Oh, I clicked. What is the relic next to? Mysterious object, but undeniably a holy one. It was donated by a group of pilgrims to study the legacy of the great missionary Nadine Aleinikov. They believed there was something inside that only someone truly righteous was meant to have. One of the pilgrims was so desperate to witness the moment of the orb's opening that they bequeathed their body to us. Holy shit. Do you have any idea how to open the orb? It happened a long time ago. That's all I know. Why not disassemble it? To damage a sacred relic is an unthinkable crime, and to use force to bypass the test of wisdom and faith contains is terrible blasphemy. Okay. It reaches everywhere. The greedy will see me in gold, the scholars in humanity's cradle, but only the righteous will see me within their souls. The throne, I guess? Okay. Second quarter. Life. Okay. Third. I am poison, I am perdition, I am disgrace. Burden me down, eradicate me, or perish rejected by the Emperor. Okay. Form the question in the orb's remaining quarter. In your body, mind, and soul, you must possess me. I am no mere absence of stains. I bring you closer to him. Purity? Ah, shit. Throne. Life. Weakness. Martyrdom? Fuck! Ah! Why am I like this? Why am I like this? Duty? Ah! Why am I like— no! I misclicked. Oh! It's not because I fucked up the last one. Necessarily. 1 second then. Oh, here it was soul. So that's the one I fucked up. And it was purity. The orb comes alive, its hoops shift around with an alarming speed, coming together and folding into each other until the orb opens completely, laying its treasure bare. Missionary Oath. Once per combat, if the wearer does not use any abilities during their turn, they can end their turn to immediately grant all adjacent allies an extra turn of with 1 AP. How strange and exciting it is to behold the holy object that has lain hidden from the eye for so many years. Truly it is a great day upon which the rogue trader herself has revealed the legacy of a great missionary to us all. You're welcome. I
Rise
guess.
to the top, or get left in the dust.
Confessor? Ignorance is virtue, mercy is weakness, and there is no greater reward than to die in his name, of course. Where is to invest, return from the pirate captivity by the grace of the Emperor.
I always get the job done.
Ferrum Fostrum legend has it that its head split when it cracked open the skull of the loathsome demon Renazar the Flayer. Oh god.
Keep your wits about you.
Oh. Okay. So I need a person to stand on
Let's
it.
not waste time with pleasantries.
Your seneschal is always there for you.
Aw, thank you. Oh.
A nice little stroll.
I will lead us to fortune.
Okay.
I'm at your service.
That was a mistake.
I know how to take risks. Is there money to be
There's
made?
only 3 buttons? Must be more. Pretty sure there were more, right? Guess they'll show up later. Okay, I've prayed to the God Emperor. Blessed be his name. Or something. Hello, Confessor Adalbert. I'm gonna piss you off. The Emperor protects your ladyship. Are you here to pray, or have you mundane matters brought you to what? Or have mundane matters brought you to me? Remind me, what is it you do on my ship? I'm the ship's confessor, your ladyship. No vessel that abides by the Imperium's laws can sail the void without a spiritual guide. Even a smaller-sized ship that does not have a member of the ecclesiarchy on board entrusts all matters of faith to a lay person who is a staunch adherent of the creed. A rogue trader's flagship, naturally, is expected to have a confessor who comes from a line of his reverent servants. I am such a one. I'm entrusted with caring for the reliquary chapel and the dynastic crypt. I also conduct liturgies, consecrate the ship's bays, and strengthen the crew's hearts whenever a dark hour is upon us, lest any among them falter in the face of the horrors lurking in the darkness and fail in their duty. Tell me, do you visit the shrine confessional to repent as the other officers do? Okay. Tell me about the dynastic crypt. To maintain an appropriate place of repose on board their flagship, for their capital may change with the passing of centuries, but the vessel of the Emperor's anointed serves them for millennia. It is more than just a symbol of the dynasty's authority. It is the source of its power. The Lord Captain's seat in the void, whence they reign over their many lands. The Von Valencia's crypt is where rogue traders and their most loyal servants are laid to rest. As the ship's confessor, I perform the rites of burial and remembrance for those honored dead. It never occurred to the soul man that he might have to send Lady Theodora on her final journey, but all is the Emperor's will. I want to know more. Is this the only place of worship on the ship? No, there are many other places. I want those on other decks to be able to partake of this exuberance as well. Truly, a most generous and gracious gesture, your ladyship. I will arrange for commoners who have distinguished themselves in their service to be allowed in here. An event like that will fill them with fervor, and they will pass down the memory of what they have seen to their offspring. Where does this collection of sacred relic come from? Some of them are gifts. I have other questions. I would like to hear the Imperium's tenets from you. Oh boy. Oh boy. Every man and woman has a place in the order he created, and this order must be followed and the will of one's superiors obeyed. Beware of witches, for they have been stained by the warp. Persecute mutants, for they are perversions of the human form, and hate the accursed Xenos. Ah, yes, I do hate the accursed Xenos. Fuck those Xenos, bro. Literally. Imperial Creed. The Imperial Creed describes being wary of psychers, but the Imperium uses them anyway. You are right. Without the astropaths, we are deaf and blind, and there are many other psychers laboring for the good of humanity. That is their place within the Emperor's design, but only those among them who accept his light and have been authorized. For once in your life, you could just admit that it doesn't take a tongue calloused from prayer to handle the warp's dangers. The Ecclesiarchy tells us to prosecute mutants, but an exception must be for— okay, that will suffice for now. Okay, so we can come back to these things later. We will we'll come back here with a person of each of these things. It'll be more fun. You're positively beaming with joy. A priest like you is a rare sight. A fair observation. Everyone knows that the clergy must maintain a stern appearance to inspire fear and awe in their flock. The truth is that my clan and I are experienced great hardship. I cannot explain how it is I am standing before you now, except by his will. How could one be anything but joyful, knowing they were saved by the Emperor? What happened to your clan? Okay, sickness. Only the youngest survived, myself among them. But now my family is growing, and I am grateful for each new life that replaces one lost. Still, your gentle manner may adversely affect your flock's faith. No. Okay, first I'll check. Okay. Did Lady Theodora come here often? To concern for the Libra's maintenance and its needs, and under her rule, faith occupied its proper place on this ship. Gives you a diplomatic smile, so the answer is no. People confess to you, do they not? I'm interested to know the thoughts of some of my subjects. This may say, he would be honored to offer. Okay, so he's telling me to go talk to the other guy. We already did. Okay, I would love to talk to him about my questions regarding the tenets, but with the correct people with me, because then it's way more fun. Because they'll actually comment on it. I think in general coming here will be more fun later. So for now, I am going to load before we went in. Because I kind of want to experience that after I have a few characters with me. Pretty sure we're gonna have some interesting reactions. Astropathic Chapel. Let's go.
I always keep my options open.
Ugh, they're staring at me with their burnt eyes like I'm a leper. I'm just passing through, all right? So you lots can calm down.
Yeah, it do be like that. Yeah, people died there. Happens a lot, actually.
Let us not dawdle.
Yeah, I can talk to these ones. Candle's gone out again on 34. I hope at least this time I don't have to scrape psychic ice off of them. Am I caught in the song's reverie, or is this really you, Lord Captain? It is me, my dude.
Keep your wits about you. success is the only outcome I accept. That's how it's done.
Okay, yeah, this
keep
is a
your
little
eye on
creepy.
prize.
Just a little creepy. Oh, there's another one here.
I always get the job done.
Right. Sure, honey. Look at them.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Damn. Zachary, my boy. A visit from the Rogue Trader is an honor for us. How can I be of use? Sanctioning is a brutal procedure, one which robs every astropath of the gift of sight. But in return, they gain a new kind of vision that allows them to see what ordinary people cannot. Remind me of who you are? Zachary, your ladyship, I'm the choirmaster of the Astropathic Choir. I was posted to this ship soon after my soul-binding ritual on Holy Terra. You may say I've been serving House Valencias my whole life. How'd you like serving under Lady Theodora? I served her for 2 decades and never knew another Lord Captain before your ascension. With her, I had been through many things. Oh boy. Shadow of regret creeps over to his face. Lady Theodora had a good understanding of my significance within the overall mechanism of the ship's services, which however did not stop her from neglecting my warnings. I'm confused. So how old are you? I turned 34 a month and a half ago. Okay. Tell me about the Astropath Choir. Of course, Lord Captain. Is there something specific you would like to know? What is this place? It's our cloud nor grave. You're at the conflicts at every secret missive, every order of prime importance, every scheme being plotted behind the scenes. You are at a place where each of your loyal astropaths is ready to lay down their life for crumbs of information, if that is your wish. We receive and send messages for hours turning into days. We wander the dark depths of the immaterium, carrying our voice through the warp's eternal night. Bringing it to our comrades in some remote refuge, accepting the voices, signals, and missives of others into our own abode. Those are most often meant for you, your ladyship, and at times, they are meant for no one. So what device is this? It is a sacred compiler that helps us record, store, and to an extent unriddle messages. The astropaths first receive these messages in the form of muddled images, dictating that they see to the machine, which logs their every word. From the reels of the receivers onto the ceiling, the machine records words. Recorded words are routed through lines under the floor into transcribers and then the thesaurus core. This core is the most important part of the mechanism, as it contains a vast catalog of various symbols and the methods of their interpretation. And then there's the compiler. Kind of looks like music box thingy. So that's where he decodes stuff. Your machine knows the meaning of the symbols, why can't it decode the messages itself? Regrettably for us all, your ladyship, astropathic messages are not ciphered dispatches, but rather psychic imprints containing information. Only an astropath can read the entirety of something created through the medium of the warp. Furthermore, as messages pass through the immaterium, they might become distorted by malevolent intent. It falls to your servants alone to shield their mind with faith and separate the true meaning from the influence of the ruinous powers. So if you wanted to hide certain information from me, you could. My duty is to shield you from the monstrous communications that filter through the warp. The screams of the Emperor's loyal servants, centuries dead by now. The nightmarish, maddening images of the Sea of Souls. The cursed symbols that cause astropaths to convulse in violent fits of frenzy. The messages from abominations in search of weak minds to devour. Concealing all that from you is my duty. How do you become an astropath? We're all part of the Imperial Tide once. Psychers delivered to Terra on the black ships, but only a few of the candidates had what it took to study astropathy. Fewer still successfully completed the grueling training to be eligible for soul binding, and almost none survived the initiation. We were given the privilege to behold the Emperor's light, a light flawless and searing. That changes you. It wounds you irreparably. It takes your eyesight, but in exchange, you commune with greatness. His presence in our souls fortifies them as we stand against malicious powers. After the ritual, an astropath is assigned their position. At this or that adeptus, an astropathic relay or a ship. More often than not, our first place of service is also our last. If something happens to your choir, where can I find new astropaths? It's more of a when. The Emperor blessing protects us from the warp. However, there are horrors dwelling in the void for which even this defense would be no obstacle. Especially if one spends as much time in their company as we do. There is only one way to procure astropaths, and that is through the Adeptus Administratum. Luck permitting, unattached astropaths from the sector will be posted to the ship. Ones who, for whatever reason, have lost their place of service. Failing that, the request will go to Terra, and we will have to wait a long time. That said, there are other options. Blasphemous, forbidden options, unsanctioned psychers. But even those would do, should the God Emperor put our souls through severe trials. And judging by how rapid the warp has been of late, by the number of dead astropaths, those trials will be upon us sooner than our prayers could reach Terra. Of course, Idira knows where we can get some not-so-sanctioned astropaths. That odd noise inside the chapel, does it not bother you? On the contrary, it is a mental focusing technique used by our flagship's choir. One that I invented myself. This music was written by an astropath. What my charges and I hear is not what ordinary people hear. Its true depth and beauty cannot be fathomed without the Emperor's blessing. The music protects our mind from rudimentary thoughts, purifies and sharpens them. But above all else, it serves as a beacon of sorts amid the tumultuous sea of souls, a thread to lead us home from the deadly maze. We'll speak later.
I always keep my options open.
Of course you do, ma'am. Can't wait to show up to the fucking... Oh, I came to the wrong place. Can't wait to show up to the fucking church with Erliette and Marojay. That's gonna be great. I'm sure they'll handle it very normally. I'm sure they'll be very, very happy to see them. Okay, here we go. Let's actually do something. Okay, that's where we're going. Where are we right now? There we are. We can scan this. Scan. Ooh, scan. There we go. Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake. The choir is listening tirelessly to the Mysterium in the hope of picking up voices. However, we've heard something horrifying. Amid the Mysterium's tumult, something is screaming. The scream is driving your choir mad. Till it stops, we have no hope of contacting any of the Dynasty's worlds. It is coming from the Reikat System's astropathic station. What is the nature of this scream? We do not know, your ladyship, but it has brought the Mysterium to a boil. It has always been a violent, roaring ocean that could spell doom to any who would consider stepping into its waters. Now, however, it has become a cradle of madness where expelled images fuse together. A mighty warp storm, like the likes of which I cannot recall, rages in the Empyrean, and it fills me with terror. Okay. We'll go there. I guess. Hi, little white ship. How you doing? Do not require assistant. Repeat, do not require assistant. Copy, keep following. They'll pass us by, won't they? The Emperor protects. So it's probably pirates, yeah? Can we establish communication? Yes, Captain. Do not tell them we are done for. This is Thunderfang. We are a merchant vessel. Do you copy? We are a private merchant vessel. Uh-huh. Multiple hull breaches. Okay, you got fucked. Why can we not identify you? What happened to you? We were just flying mindlessly on our business, straight out of the blue, and opened fire. Miracle, we could get away. Emperor protects, and then more fire. Who? Void only knows. Roasted our tail. Bombed everything. The folks are left without any help. We need to go get them. Why can we not identify you? The other thing, now, stop playing games and explain again what your business is here, and this, I highly recommend the truth this time. We are from the Fellowship of the Void. We did not come here to loot on a different business, to help our own out of jail. Do not hurt us, please. We already had our Kronos cleaned. How about striking a deal? Our hold is full of plunder. I mean goods. Okay, let's exchange some commerce then. Sure, why not? Oh boy. Okay. There you go. Lovely. It is motionless. There is lifeless silence across its vox frequencies. Its lights are out. Even those who have no warp sensitivity can feel the presence of death. It is here, lurking in the shadows. All of this makes reading the reports of the ship's astropaths, who claim to be hearing an incessant ghostly howl emanating from the station, all the more disturbing. Contact the station by vox. Deploy a scouting team. Okay, people are fucked up in the head in there. Astropaths upon their thrones, not quite here, not quite now, smudged, as it were, across time. Servants reliving their horrible deaths again and again, only to be reborn out of ashes and blood into more agony a moment later. The warp manifested itself here, twisting the very nature of existence. Jesus. The main hall was covered in a crust of psychic ice. If worn by a psyker, the wearer gains immunity to the horrors of the warp effect. Oh, that's good. But this has brought the crew no relief. A chilling realization came to the astropaths when they discovered that the cry was masking a different sound, one even more terrifying. It was the melody of a cataclysm born from a warp storm of titanic power, so intense that the entire expanse must be able to hear it. It muffles astropathic messages and crawls into psychers' minds, evoking everywhere the same image, a dark, gaping, beastly mouth. The cicatrix maledictum, yeah. cleaving the universe in two. Now that the mad choir master has finally stopped screaming, the song of the Immaterium has reached the rogue trader's void ship too. There we go. I gave them the Emperor's Mercy. Real quick. Let's go get our Cassia. Continue to maintain Vox silence. We've also detected accumulation of space debris. I will negotiate personally. They're ignoring us. Scan the station. The reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered, some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains, why are they ignoring us? We will not invade a Navis Nobilite station without first acquiring official approval. Order the crew to commence docking with the station. We do not know what it is happening at that's happening at the station. We'll have to look for the esteemed navigators blindly. Dock safely. May the God Emperor light your path. Let's go. Cassia, honey. Honey. Let's have a chat, shall we?
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Oh boy. There we go. Tallman stops with a gesture when you approach. Step back or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Right. Because you are a creepy little thing. Answer in High Gothic. I am Rogue Trader something something, and I am no enemy of the Navis Nobilite. Abelard, introduce me. Before you stands her ladyship, the Rogue Trader Domina Diantus von Valencius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Chronos Expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out that Nobilite custom requires the Lord Navigator to introduce himself first, but given the unusual circumstances on the station, her ladyship the Rogue Trader is willing to turn a blind eye to your hostility, but just this once. In this case, I shall turn a blind eye to your unceremonious invasion, just this once. Very well, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felix Christoph August, keeper of this place. So you did not arrive to offer support to the traders. This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Urak 5 is a holy sanctum for House Orcelio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. You wouldn't happen to know where the fuck Henrix is? Okay, he's not here. Provide me with a navigator and I will immediately depart the station. No, I won't. What's happening on the station? Betrayal, a most banal thing in the life of the Nobilite. Don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orselio, the second keeper of Urak 5 and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to keep her prisoner. Greedy scum. I swear by the throne's light, their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia and are now torturing her upstairs while we are idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. I still have questions. Tell me about your mistress. I am not allowed to discuss my mistress, whether with her retinue or the outsiders. She will tell you about herself personally if she feels like it, okay? What makes you think your mistress is still alive? You may not believe me, but Lady Cassia is capable of incredible things. Not even the traitor Theobald can easily harness her power. My men have reported that the station is in a station is in a deplorable state. Trust me, I should know. Everything happened too quickly. There were dozens of reports of accidents, victims, and failing systems, but the only precious thing aboard this station is Lady Cassia's life. Everything else is futile and can be easily replenished. Why did you not respond to my messages? Why the fuck did you leave me on red? I have already said Urak 5 is sacrosanct. It is the holy domain of the Navis Nobilite. It is forbidden for commoners from worlds below. From the world below, I'm not a commoner. We have hoped to solve the crisis on our own, but when the situation spiraled out of control, we could not establish contact because the traders had disabled our equipment. What kind of help? I haven't got many people left. My wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. In order to ascend... Okay, so he wants me to go and save the princess that's in the tower. Why should I help you? How do I remake the control rod? You grab 2 pieces, it's a fetch quest. Why should I help you? You came to the station for a reason. House Orselio will not be able to help you until the current crisis is resolved. Fair enough. How do I power the elevator? Fetch quest. If it's so simple, why don't you do it yourself? Because there are people in the way. It will be an honor to save the Lady Navigator. I am a massive fucking sim. Cassia something something Orselio. There we go.
Is there money to be made?
Ay, ay.
Over.
The corpses were mauled by a force far beyond any mortal capacity. The faces are twisted in pain and the hands are fused with improvised weapons, tools, scissors, and cutlery. Jesus.
White. Bright, pure color. And it's all riddled with horrible veins that carry the poison of fear and pain throughout its body. Who are you? Why are you crying?
Well, that's Cassia.
If the witch is talking about the enemies of humanity who set upon this abode of noble navigators, then our weapons will soon dispel their wicked misery.
Aren't you lovely? She was talking about Cassia, and she's sad because people are dying around her. Understandable.
Always keep your eye
We
on the
should
prize.
deal with this.
Never doubt me.
And that's Cassia. Aw, isn't she cute? She
This
is very
ocular
cute.
implant was a worthwhile investment.
Duty prevails.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
took their own lives by slicing their guts wide open. Jesus Christ.
Keep your wits about you.
Right.
Well, what do we have here?
There we go. Farewell for House Celia. Oh boy.
I'll make an example out
Are you sure you're my enemy?
For the Emperor!
It's more like, are you sure you want to be my enemy? Because I would not advise it. Okay. Argenta. Get buffed.
I'll see to it
So
personally.
I will give Idira a turn, because it's easier. There we go.
Anything else?
Zap.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
On it.
Point. I missed. Sad.
Moving out!
Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew.
I've faced worse than this.
My faith
That tickled.
strengthens me.
Uh-huh. Sure, buddy. Argenta, do me a favor. Be a dear. Beat shit out of them.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Of course you will, honey. Of course you will. I expect no less.
As the Emperor commands, you can escape the Emperor's judgment.
That
do
is
it.
true, honey. That is true.
Momentum.
There we go.
Indeed. We'll rule the stars themselves. Follow
I
my
will.
lead. At your beck and call. I took care of this one.
Ooh, that was beautiful. Holy shit.
Victory is imminent.
Of course it is, buddy. Of course it
It
is.
will be done.
Especially when you're involved.
Break them around.
You just hit your own guy.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Ah, yeah, that was a tickle. That was a tickle and a half. Good job, guys. You fucking tickled, man. Ooh, I'm so scared. They tickle.
What is this foreboding?
I'm gonna move myself. Yep. I've been sitting on one leg. I will now sit on the other leg. Lovely. Don't think I can do much other than help my
What?
teammates, so
Was it you? Or
it was me.
Stay vigilant.
Uh-huh.
Follow my lead.
Just a minor setback.
Weapon at the ready.
Hey, you. Yeah, you.
I'll see to it personally.
Aw. I can't use my other weapon? Okay, well, fuck you then. Sad.
Follow my lead.
Pew pew pew. Ooh, he matrix dodged that shit. Fuck yeah.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
Ooh. Oh, that hurt. Not me,
Faith
but it hurt
without
someone.
deeds is worthless.
At your beck and call. I will do my duty. At your beck and call.
Plop. More shield. There we go.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
He tickles. A little more than a tickle. But mostly still a tickle.
I know what is to come.
Lucky bastards are just shy of getting hit with a loud, angry
My
word.
faith strengthens me. Break them all.
I've suffered worse.
Oh my god.
Stay vigilant.
You know, 1 factorial damage. Sorry. That was a math joke, I'm sorry.
Who? Not me.
Who? Who asked? No, no.
I'll see to it personally.
There you go.
It's as good as done.
Plop.
Doubt is for the weak. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
That will never not be fun.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Of course you do, honey. Of course you do.
I'll do it.
Bong. Aw, come on. Argenta. I'm not paying you to do this. I'm not paying you at all, but I'm certainly not paying you to do this.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
You missed the guy 2 feet in front of you, but you hit the one behind him. Hmm. Okay. That's one way to do things.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
That is true, buddy.
It will be done.
Nice.
High momentum.
High momentum. No, there's no angle from which I can see
They
him.
who discern the future own
Shame.
the battlefield. Will do.
Follow my lead.
You missed. Bitch.
I'll see to it personally.
Pew-pew. And I missed. So I guess, joke's on me.
Accept your lot.
Fucking hell. Come on, Argenta.
Rejoice in battle!
At least you hit once.
I will not. Doubt is for the weak.
Of course, honey. You suck. But I'll give you... Oh, no I can't. Can I? No. Oh, you have another
As
chance.
the Emperor commands, I act.
I think Argenta might need glasses. I mean that in the nicest way possible.
A tactically sound approach.
Uh-huh. Well. Sorry, but not too much. Not too sorry. Just a little sorry. Sorry, Argento. There we go. Now we can yell at him.
There is movement
You hear
in
him?
the Imperium.
Yell at him. Thank you. Very effective. It was very effective. Enemy fainted. Blood of Martyrs. That's based on what? Willpower. It's pretty good. It's pretty good shit. I'll even put some points into willpower just for that. There you go. Amazing. Cool. No, Carouse. He needs to be a tank. Nope. Wait, wasn't there one? There's a really cool one. Oh, that's useful. Perception bonus. Perception bonus. Intelligence, actually. Okay. Intelligence it is. And ballistics. Controlled shot. And we can stop hitting Abelard. That might be a good idea. We'll just stop hitting Abelard constantly. I appreciate that. There we go.
That's how it's done. Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Okay. Let's find some stuff. Some random shit.
Let us not dawdle.
There we go. That's what I was trying to get earlier. Okay, it's closed.
Is there money to be made?
There's always money to be made, honey. You know that.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Of course not. As we saw during that battle,
The
her
Emperor
eyesight is
favors me
amazing.
today.
Damn warp. If we'd been in real space, I'd have.
Spare me your wailing, witch. Every voice that sounds in your mind is a whisper of the archenemy.
She's not wrong. It is.
I always keep my options open.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
I love him. Oh god, it's adorable.
I always get the job done.
Over there!
Over where?
I better myself through my service.
These people seem to be arguing with each other.
Keep your wits about you.
But we did find a bunch of random shit, so let's go through it. That's interesting. Horrors of the Warp. I feel like that might help you. Aha! Those are best. The difference is just that it does more damage. And it has dodge reduction, which is pretty cool. Whereas ranged attacks decrease their target's dodge by -5%. Sounds like she might like that. Wrath of St. Drusus. That might be cool for him. Yeah, that's cool. Negotiator Pistol. That's a cute name. I might pick that. Melting effect. Holy shit. Terrifying, but okay. Yeah, I'll take that. That's cool. One Valencia's Cloak. As long as I'm full health, I have +5s to everything. Oh, that is worth it. Holy shit, that's worth it. Damn. And it's beautiful, and it looks good with our weapons and everything. With our everything. This is pretty cool. Face of the Sovereign. The wearer gains an additional +1 resolve when they kill an enemy. Oh, okay. +1 resolve. What does resolve usually do? Influences how effectively and for how long characters can fight in the battle. It determines the amount of momentum gained at the beginning of each turn or after killing an enemy. I'll give it to her. Holy shit. Let me just turn that off real quick. Thank you. I would rather look at her beautiful face. Meyer receives -5 damage from critical hits. I'll give it to him because it's a thing that protects you from damage. Threats. 5 less damage from critical hits. That's cool. Yeah, he can have that. Oh, that might be useful for him, actually. Fuck. Okay. I'll give that to him. Where did I go? I can have that one for now. Oh, that's cute. It's a weapon. That's very cute. Just trying to see if there was any information. Okay, heirloom auto pistol. Okay. Mars pattern. Yeah, I'd give that to our Mars guy from later. We haven't met him just yet. Let's actually do a proper save. I haven't done one in a while. Hello. Did you hear the screams? Move. Sir, are you alright? We can't hear anything. Oh boy. You okay, buddy? Now I see you are in league with them. Is this an insurrection? Yes, indeed. Death to the traitors. Oh boy. Get a hold of yourself, sir. Sir, what the fuck, sir? I'm happy. I'm really glad that I can't literally do anything. I'm just sitting here. Who are you? That was not very nice. Yeah, that's what happens, buddy. Idiot. Anyway.
I always have a backup plan. Just as I planned. Success is the only outcome I accept.
I got so much stuff.
Rise to the
Hell
top,
yeah.
or get left in the dust.
Oh, hi guys. Hello. Oh, that's very normal. We just go around cutting people's tongues, do we? Yeah, I can tell. That is warp bullshittery. Oh, here we go. Beep boop. Beep. Call Racabanors for help. Request data on the station's navigators. And the other 3 are dead. Seven logs. Officer something. Several generators overheated on the lower level. Chambers are in power. Detect priest crews sent to investigate the problems not responding. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression. Officer sabotage. Crews 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have enough oxygen for 20 minutes. May the Emperor save our souls. Senior station officers, this is Captain speaking. We attempted to contact the Winterscale Scion for help, but something is jamming the signal. Examine the recent entries. Someone's close to the child have started butchering one another again. An order came from above to have the remains pre-processed. The negotiations with the Winterscales were a success. A new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It is imperative that we increase the new retainer's resistance to the child's powers. Examine the station's docking log. Everything's fucking classified. Examine the security and life support logs. Warning, blah blah blah, enables access to blah blah blah, immediate evacuation, encrypted data. I'm unencrypting that shit. Thank you. Child delete picked. Flow, disable access code, annuls station controls, delete. Delete, activate, shuttle, self-destruct, purge, command log. Only the keepers of the station have access to the life support systems, but Keeper Theobald had not left the child's side, and neither had I. Could it be that another keeper did it? Mm-hmm. Elevator controls. Activate the elevator. Switch to the main chamber controls. Open all doors on the level. Ah, yes. 00000000000000000. Yeah, push a few buttons. The compartment you are trying to open is depressurized. Takes a few moments to gather the store has already been opened. Okay. 4. Protocol has been executed. The passage has been opened. 5. And I think I found the right one. Found it. There we go.
Let us not dawdle.
Let us. You guys alright over there? Probably not. Okie dokie. Well, you know, it do be like that. Sometimes. Lovely.
Is there money to be made?
Shit's not looking great.
I always get the job done.
Amniotic fluid pools across the floor, barely discernible. Traces stretch to the side opposite the entrance. Right. Just lovely.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Hello, small person. Terrified person. Lovely. Right. Oh, here we go. The, transducer. I never know this by heart. I always have to look it up. Bum. Okay, side crystal.
This is intriguing.
Okay. And this one was pointless, if I recall correctly. Page 41, okay. Biogel. Crystal dust.
This could be an opportunity.
Oh, it is, honey. It is. Flash sample. K04. Is this one? Unidentified acid.
What a peculiar thing.
There we go.
I always keep my options open.
There you go. That's the end of that. Someone wanted to destroy this or find something. Okay. Cool little navigator eye. Let's go grab Cassia.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Keep your wits about you.
Sure, buddy. Hey, Phallic. I would like to talk to you about the fact that you're actually the traitor and you lied to me. I have a few questions. So who's this child? So the madmen I fought were convinced that we were the traitors. Did you really think mere servants could plan a coup? The senior officers are just as guilty. Destroying the shuttles, shutting off the power, disabling the security systems. Too many things require special access. Access available only to the keeper of the station. You were very lenient towards them, purposefully neglecting the security protocols. Enough! I would not trust you as far as I could throw you, Felix. Congratulations, you've got me. If your cursed child agrees to become my navigator, I will gladly rid you of this burden.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
The pale figure with unnaturally long limbs covers her face with her hands, which are deformed with talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continuously streams from her scarlet-misted eyes. Her spiny gills, slightly hidden under her disheveled hair, twitches nervously at your approach. Only now do you notice the third eye on the young woman's forehead, hidden by a jeweled ornament, and when your eyes meet, you sense overwhelming, soul-smothering power. You are enveloped in despairing grief, and an invisible hand closes around your throat, cutting off your breath. Your limbs seem to fill with lead. Your heart hammers in your chest, and the desire to turn and flee from this room, from the station, almost gets the better of you. At the last moment, you master your emotions, and your will pushes back against the illusion, forcing it to retreat. As if my own little pals weren't bad enough, now this one's barging into my head. Someone stop her. Heresy. I will stand strong against any illusion. You direct all your attention inward to your heart, currently shackled by another suffering. Under the gaze of your burning inner eye, the despair and pain begin to dwindle. The darkness in your soul dissipates, the lump in your throat shrinks, and you discover that you are standing in front of a bizarre creature, a young woman whose tears you seem to have dried along with your own. What is happening? Was someone calling my name? Are all the betrayers dead already? And you, who are you? I am Mina von Valencius. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Pardon my manners. I did not expect to make such a gracious acquaintance in such a time of great sorrow for our house. What is this? I feel faint. Flop. My eyes fail me, for they are unable to make you out as either enemy or ally. I'm warning you, one more move will bring the wrath of House Orcellia down upon your head. Yep. At present, I'm trying to determine what is happening. I mean you no harm. I came to seek the navigator's aid. You don't look like pirates, that is true. Domina the Hunters, von Valencius, rogue trader. Abelard! Introduce us. Her ladyship rogue trader Domino Diantus von Valencius, heir to the greatest protector in the Cronus Expanse and bearer of the sacred word of trade, extends her greetings. Another rogue trader in our corner of the galaxy. How interesting. Your kind always make an appearance in desperate times, ready to cut a deal that benefits one side alone. Given that you have not so far drawn your weapons, your intentions are probably peaceful, and so House Orcelio now asks a service of you. Save the life of the child in exchange for future cooperation. Do not hurry to answer or think on it. You can make yourself an ally or an enemy of our house today. You decide. So, what's going on? Ah, yes, the gift of the child is, getting everyone to go crazy. Awesome. The child's will is the will of the great Tisiphone, for she is the heir of House Orcelio. And they call me dangerous with my witchcraft. Yep. You look frightening. You're not supposed to see me, or Felix, or the Sacred Child. Navigators are highly paid for their loyal service to the Imperium according to his will. No one would dare judge the guides of humanity, the chosen of the galactic sovereign himself. What service do you ask of me? Save the child. Take her away. I know we came here for Navigator, but after everything we've seen, I've got some reservations about this girl. I don't. Such a fragile thing with such a heavy burden on her shoulders. Aww. You're talking as though you expect to die here. He does. I have medical stuff. What happened? He was a student. He came to Iraq 5 as a Kalo youth. I personally mentored him and entrusted him with the care of the child. He was like a son to me, but he proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of our house, our sacred child, to revel in power with others like him, casting our house into the abyss, to pervert these centuries-long traditions of our family. Okay. He murdered a bunch of people. Okay. I made my decision. I'll fuck up Felix and I will save your child. Cassia, honey? Okay. The game is a little weird, but okay. Okay. Nothing's alive in the cage. Awesome.
Let us not dawdle.
Anything cool here? Nope. Anything cool over there? Sorry, I'm in your bedroom, Cassia. You're not eating, honey? That's not good for you. You should eat. You need to grow big and strong. There we go. Here we go. I knew I should have killed you. You betray the child, you betray the house, blah.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
To the death!
Okay.
I'll do it.
God damn it.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Nice. Good job, honey. Good job. And you? Zap 'em.
No can do.
Okay, then just move slightly and then do it.
Cover me.
On it.
There we go. You missed.
Who, if not me?
Indeed. Boink. Ah, don't have enough to
Victory is imminent.
hit him with a regular attack. That's okay. Ah, just shy of being able to hit them. Shame. Okay, then shoot someone. That guy.
I'll make it happen.
Missed. Feels bad. Woo! That hurt.
I will do my duty. It will be done.
Weapon at the ready.
Nice shot, buddy.
Follow my lead.
Follow my lead. Onward.
Be careful not to cross my gaze. Now you're clad in scarlet.
She's so OP. Can't move. Something's wrong. Nothing I can do. Next.
To the heretics.
Oof.
My faith strengthens me.
Thank you.
Follow my lead. Moving out. To the heretics.
Good shot.
Guided by faith. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Nice.
I am his will made manifest. Doubt is for the weak. That is not the Emperor's will.
I missed again. I missed again.
None can
Thank
escape
you.
the Emperor's judgment. As
Did that
the
have to be
Emperor
so hard, or
commands,
didn't
I
it?
act.
Did it?
I
Now
know
you.
what is to come.
You die. It's not personal.
Be gone.
I just wanted to yell at you. Oh, there's someone? Ah, there's another one. Okay.
fuse.
High momentum.
High momentum.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Brace yourself, buddy. Done.
Now, this is your burden, child. Survive. Return to the fold of your house as your destiny demands.
Fair enough.
No! Don't leave me alone in this violet brown haze! Wake up! Your mistress is giving you an order! Do you hear me?
Cassia looks at the navigator's body in bewilderment, and you are overwhelmed with an inexplicable sense of loneliness and grief.
He was a fine seer of the war. He fought for his mistress until the end.
Of course.
Yeah, no. Enough's enough. I've had my fill of waterworks, thank you.
I regret that we had to meet under such circumstances.
What need have I for your regrets? I just want things to go back to the way they were before. What are you going to do to me?
To me? Jesus Christ, woman. Lady Cassia, I, Domina de Hunters von Valencius, rogue trader of the Imperium of Men, offer you my protection and grant you shelter aboard my vessel.
I beg your pardon, but what about my servants? Your Act 5 is still full of people loyal to House Orselio.
I will provide you with every necessity. All who can be saved will be given succor on board my ship.
As a Lady Navigator of House Orselio, I accept your gracious offer of protection. Please, take me to your vessel. I can no longer bear the pain of this place.
I saved a princess who was stuck in a tower. Yay. Except the princess is a fucking creepy-looking, monstrous mutant. And people die around her a lot. So, you know, she's cursed. A cursed princess in a tower.
I make profitable learning experiences.
I don't make mistakes. I make profitable learning experiences. I love that one. That one's a good one. I'll remember that. Next time someone tells me I made a mistake at work. That's how I'm answering. That's not bad. Ooh. It's not bad at all. When an ally in combat gets a stack plus 5 bonus until the end of combat. Stacks up to 5 times. That's fucking broken. Actually. Sorry, the Claire Obscure soundtrack's still in my head. Enemies affected by navigator's power, so for us stacking minus 10 planets, the next resistant test. Oh, that's nice. Full power. There we go. Good one. Which is pretty cool. Welcome aboard. The Sanctum Novus has been prepared for the communion ritual, but if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first... Oh. Your heart starts beating furiously, your breaths come short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Vigdis is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of this sudden wave of unease. Yeah. Without even looking at the Voxmaster, Cassia waves her away. First, I wish to speak with the rogue trader. Leave us. Of course. When you are ready for the ritual, please let me know. Fucking peasants. Now let us speak. Noble to noble. Lowering her lashes slightly, turns to you. What do you want to talk about? Raises her pointed chin. I have not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash when Theobald's heart stopped, but you acted honorably and did not exploit me in my wretched position, and for that I am immeasurably grateful. I am also deeply grateful that you saved my servants, especially my valet. Uwe served on the station for more than 5 years, much longer than any who preceded him. He knows how to properly attend to me during journeys through the Immaterium, and what to serve me for breakfast. His presence envelops me in a cloak of amber. But now, I am ready to go to the Sanctum Novus and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. Tell me more about the ritual. I doubt you fucking peasants can understand all that, you fucking, you know, noobs. But I shall try to explain the essence of it. I must merge my mind and will with the machine spirit of the ship, so that I become one with the vessel. After that, I use the House or Cellular ritual, which I am loath to reveal to you, to free my mind of all errant thoughts, and then it is time to open my third eye and peer into the depths of the warp. Among the nightmarish visions, mirages, and creatures of the abyss, only the light of the Emperor is the truth that will lead me from star to star, from system to system. Oh, the light. The guiding thread, so fine, it can slip from one's grasp at any moment, but you have nothing to worry about. The navigators of House Orcelio never lose their course. Why do you refuse red paint? Uwe will give me his blood before the ritual, as always. Okay. I shall ensure that all necessary supplies are delivered to the Sanctum Novus. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me, if you can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is opened. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge, and may the Emperor's light help us all. Voxcaster in the Sanctum Novus picks up the susurration of clothes, pious chanting, and the metallic clanking of implants. Then the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence, initiating communion ritual. Come here, Uwe. The exulting ring of metal freed from his scabbard, the low sob of the servant, the rhythmic drip of liquid on canvas, the faint whisper of the brush. Go. Footsteps hurrying away. I see violet vortexes lashing an ocean with a million flails, and umber shadows spinning over the surface in a fiery dance. A storm rising above foaming waters, armadas drowning in fog. The path from one end to another cannot be seen. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun's The sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit. Of her? No, of me. Its frozen rays lie that spring is here. The light is deadened, the great ruler is gone. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I have never heard the warp speaking through a navigator before. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. Cassia, are you alright in there? And people are dying. Rip. Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ship housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Yeah, that was Nomos. He's very nice though. You should meet him. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me. Congratulations on getting a navigator. Thank you. First of all, I wish to report you on the condition of the station. Yeah, loot the station. Hell yeah. Thank you. We're still looking for the engine Zero Prime. Yeah, we'll find Pascal later. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We're also missing some crew and, much more importantly, we have not yet located Heinrich von Kellogg. Why is it always business with you, Vigdis? Couldn't you sometimes just visit and tell me how wonderful everything is? Certainly, Lord Captain. If you're interested, this week passed with a record low rate of minor disturbances on the lower decks. A senior technomat from Shift 8 came up with a new formula for a lubricant used in kitchen servitor implant maintenance. The quartermaster of store compartment 11 reported recently that we are spending ceremonial decorations at least 20% slower than expected, which means we have enough tablecloths, carpets, and lamps to last us 15 years of grand receptions instead of 10. Even considering that some of the stock was burned during the cultist attack on the vessel. Good news. Thank you, Vigdis. That'll be all. As it pleases you, Lord Captain. Christ. There is some commotion on the officer's deck. Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck. Gods forbid my girl walks around without people screeching in horror at the visage of the mutant. Poor girl. I think the
Lord Captain,
game might be a little...
My apologies, I did not notice your entrance.
Yep. I see you're fond of reading.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing.
So Cassia has discovered poetry for the first time in her life. I'm happy for her.
Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
Okay. The events that took place on Urak 5 must have shaken you greatly. Are you okay?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain.
Okay.
Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Okay. Your only attendant is your valet from Europe 5. Do my servants not measure up to your standards?
No, no. It is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
So he doesn't shriek upon your visage. Right. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment. The unnatural appearance of navigators often become the topic of gossip among lowly servants. It is unsurprising then that Cassia prefers the company of one who's used to how she looks. Yep.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior and your question just now insulting.
Uh-huh.
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
Gods forbid I don't treat you like a fucking monster. Unheard of.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
Okay. You have nothing to apologize for. Human emotions are natural, be they good or bad, and it is just as natural to share them with others. Although I kind of wish that when you share them, you didn't make everyone want to kill themselves every time you shed a tear. So, you know, share them with caution.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here?
In your heart, because you missed them and you're upset that they betrayed you, and you're upset the other one who didn't betray you died. You have feelings, Cassia.
At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls, and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities.
True.
And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... My delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
I understand what you're going through. My own life was turned upside down not too long ago. Yeah, about one stream ago, actually.
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so... private. My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave?
Perhaps my people did not wish to disturb you?
Or because my presence offends them.
Sorry, I was trying to be nice.
Then I must take my leave as well. I am due to inspect the Sanctum Navis after the communion ritual and prepare the chamber for the upcoming warp jump. Thank you for your company.
Anytime. Now, we need to talk about the way you treat your servants. Namely the part where you rip off their fucking tongue. We need to talk about that. Just a quick fucking chat, buddy. It's kind of creepy. The officer increases an ally's resolve by +4 until the end of combat. That's nice. But a flesh wound. Okay, you. Ooh, I might do that. Because I want to give him a shield eventually. Foreboding. No, not any of that. Next. Apparently the Emperor protects roughly 3% of the time. Cool. I didn't know there was a number to it. Holy shit. Plus 30% increased hit chance on their next attack. Cool. That's pretty fucking cool. Thinking maybe this one. That's not a bad one. Okay. We've been here before at the beginning of the game. This room. It's being reused. Been here. Okay, so we got Cassia now. Let's go talk to her. Hey, Cassia. 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 Hey, Uwe. Son, greeting escapes his lips. Right, because you can't speak. Has his tongue cut off, just like the rest of the... Right.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
Oh, thank you. Tell me about yourself.
I am a part of House Orselio, an ancient dynasty of the Navis nobility. Since time immemorial, our family has served to advance knowledge, pushing at the boundaries of the dark unknown. The Starway Atlas contains 2,843 routes that chart the sectors of the Segmentum Obscurus and reach all the way from the Coronis Expanse to Holy Terra, and uniting the Imperium's thousands of worlds. House Orcelio is bound by commercial pacts to houses Galeatis, Ortina, Drotus, and... There is a dark blue knot tightening on your neck, Lord Captain. I can see my reply is not satisfying your thirst for knowledge. What is it you desire to hear exactly?
Navigators identify really strongly with their house. It must be difficult for you to be able to not be able to lean on your elders, but you have my word that I will look after you.
You will? That would be most appreciated, Lord Captain.
So you've never lived anywhere other than Yurak 5?
Hardly. According to the chronicles of the house, I was born on one of the Orcelio worlds. Oh, what was it? Please forgive me, Lord Captain. My childhood memories are too vague. Sometimes I dream about the colorful birds that built their nests in the garden, or the servants dressed in purple livery, or the blue fog that rolled over the lowlands behind the palace. But everything is covered in a rosy haze. Perhaps it is my imagination, not my memory, that is painting these pictures.
Okay. Tell me more about your life on the station.
My stay on the station was wholly dedicated to preparing me for my future duty. Astromancy, astrography, numerology, the histories of my house and the Imperium, as well as other disciplines. For many years, dozens of instructors tirelessly prepared me for my destiny. And once a year, Great Regent Alronto would come to the station. He would entrust his beautiful vessel to my command, so that I could master the practical aspects of our art as well.
Okay. Do you have any friends?
The Regent gave me a bird from a sunlit planet once. I tried to befriend it and make it sing, but for some reason, it refused, and died soon after. The instructors were too respectful of my duty to my house to waste precious time on idle chatter. Aside from them, there were only servants on the station, and you know they have their vocal cords removed, so they cannot break their vow of silence. And since the subject has been breached, Lord Captain, why do you not follow this honored tradition? Your decks are so garish. Apologies, I meant noisy. The rabble don't just chatter. Sometimes they shout and even sing. Why do you allow such a lack of restraint? Rogue traders are highborn, are they not?
Not necessarily, but I specifically am. A ruler cannot maim people just because it is in their power to do so. On the contrary, it is the duty of every ruler to look after her subjects.
Your words sound amazingly blasphemous.
That's me.
If a ruler's duty dictates the need for violence, would dispensing it not be their responsibility? I will contemplate your answer in solitude.
Okay. Your third eye, do you always conceal it?
The Navigator's open eye is baneful to whoever the warp's ruinous shine falls upon, and therefore it is the symbol of our power. We are the guiding stars of humanity, found worthy of an uncommon gift, and one of the duties that we bear is to guard our eye, even from wayward glances that may bear evil.
Okay.
Besides, I am aware that lesser servants of the Imperium may find our appearance repulsive. The Navigator gene twists the features the rabble are used to seeing, and the magnificence of our role cannot be grasped by their feeble minds.
Fair enough. You are beautiful, Cassia. Do not let anyone or anything convince you otherwise.
You are much too kind to me, Lord Captain. Allow me, for my part, to note the beauty of your Shoulders? Yes, your shoulders. Pray let us change the subject.
What does it feel like to guide a vessel through the warp?
It may be difficult to describe. You see, every navigator perceives the warp differently. My mentor, Great Regent Auronto, always described his travels through the Immaterium as a journey through a vast wood with countless paths. And I, assisting him in the first voyages, futilely tried to follow his example. But the wood would not reveal itself to me.
Okay.
But everything changed when I found my own key to this mystery. You see, I've always brightened up my rare moments of leisure time by painting. You may recall there was a workshop in my chambers. As soon as I imagined the warp as a blank canvas, an indescribable feeling came over me. I moved the brush, going deeper and deeper into my own painting. Visions were hidden within the vibrant colors of my palette, and something inside me knew which should be brought out and which should be left behind. I woke up several days later, after the voyage was safely complete.
Okay. I noticed that your love of painting is reflected in your speech as well. You associate so many images with hues and colors.
The Emperor graced me with a gift. I can see inner life in addition to the mundane. You cannot know that a fruit has rotten from the inside until a blade slices it in two. I can see the rot from far away. It roils like swamp mud, oozing through the bright peel. Anger and boredom, sadness and joy. Everything that people shut away inside themselves is revealed to me like colors on the canvas of my world.
Okay. That's useful.
You will hear no objection from me, Lord Captain.
Tell me about House Orselio.
As the only voice of our family on this vessel, it is an honor. As long as your questions are courteous, I will answer every one of them.
So it has a reach history?
Oh, yes. The navigators of the house came to the Coronis Expanse fairly recently, a mere 208 years ago.
Oh yeah,
Before
very
that,
recent.
our ancestors expanded the borders of humankind's dominion for the glory of the Emperor, blazing trails to different corners of the galaxy.
Who rules the house?
Just as a rogue trader stands at the head of a protectorate, a Novator heads a navigator house. It is the Novator who decides where to look for alliances and which path their bloodline is destined to tread. As for our house, the transfer of power to a successor is currently underway. In the meantime, Great Regent Auronto Orselio is ensuring the stability of the house.
So you're the Novator successor?
So says Regent Auronto. Nothing is decided yet. Some people in the house become enshrouded in rolling grey clouds at the thought of me becoming the Novator. But even more are bound with dull leaden chains. They think I am not ready for such a burden.
So says the wise Alondo or something is the original to that reference. I don't remember. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Alondo? Baldur's Gate. Yep. So says the wise Alondo. That's a reference. Even his name is similar. That's cute. It's from Baldur's Gate. And, you know, just wider D&D worldish. Is the Orselio prophecy system named after your ancestor?
You are shrewd indeed. My ancestor charted that route while fleeing the enemies of humanity. They say the Emperor himself was his guide, because the warp expelled their vessel without a single loss. Unfortunately, The lips of those who relate this tale seep with disgusting green hubris. I think Kalain Orselio was simply a skilled navigator.
Okay. With your permission, I would like to talk about something else.
By all means.
What does your special sight reveal?
Sister Argenta shines like a guiding star, inspiring resolve in those around her, seemingly inexplicably. However, I see a dark and ugly fog billow behind her, contrasting sharply with her shining light. It burdens the Sister of Battle. It drags her down. Yet Argenta herself is hardly aware of it.
Okay.
Seneschal Viserion is among the few whose colors are a pleasure to look at. Whenever the Seneschal speaks, heavenly crystal clarity spreads around him.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
And whenever he is angered, dark blue clouds condense over him. And in his rare moments of joy, a pure gleam of sunset pink caresses the souls of those near him.
Aww.
Out of your entire retinue, Lord Captain, he is the only one I would trust with my life.
Yeah, he's a pretty trustworthy dude.
Idira's emotions are like a maelstrom. Bright, unbridled, enveloping her form like a wondrous kaleidoscope of colors. And as dangerous as a twisting warp storm. The riot of colors hides the truth from my eyes. What exactly is driving this woman? Is it her own will, or is it the Immaterium, Lord Captain?
Well, I'm gonna go.
I have enjoyed your company.
Thanks. Bye. Hey, there you go. He speaks now. I serve the Imperium and House Orselio. Nice. Oh, I'll just click here. The servant's docked vocal cords were recently replaced with a silver-plated Vox implant. I convinced her! Nice. Fucking cool. Hey, Henrik, do you have anything cool to say? No? Aw, shame. He's a pretty cool character until the day betrays you. Later. Hey, Jocasta. I'm not gonna do that to them. That would be exceedingly mean. Oh, but we do have Cassia now. So, nah, I think I'll go to the church later. We can go now.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Let's just do this thing. There we go. We got the quest now.
That's how it's done.
Oh. So let's try opening the door. Why not? Assemble it. Open it. I will fix this. Throne. Blood. Weakness. Purity. Thank you, Cassia.
I always have a backup plan.
You're welcome, buddy. I guess this time I missed.
This is intriguing.
There it is. There you go.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Okay, save here. Talk to him. Okay, I would like to hear the Imperium's tenets from you. So, what do you think about Psychers? Oh wait, no. Not yet. Wait, the Navigators, yes. Novice and Nobilite are different from most humans, but their differences are a blessing. They are noble servants of the Imperium who help humanity expand its galactic domain. Do you not see that as a higher purpose that pleases the Emperor? It is a pleasure to hear that, unlike the ignorant rabble, you give due acknowledgement to the greatness of our deeds, Confessor. There you go. That will suffice for now. I will come and ask you these things later. Bye!
Let us not dawdle.
Because there's one more Psyker that I can get, so I would like to wait until he's with us, so I can talk to him about Psychers and see what he says. Because we know what Adira says, but that's no fun. Okay, I think that's it. So for now, we got Cassia. Tomorrow we will get to do probably the rest of chapter 1. Pretty much in one stream. Since it's also Friday, so yeah. For now, I am done. And I will see you guys tomorrow.